Welcome to my Thames Valley Cavaliers report. These videos are part of a mini-series previewing the 4 NBL teams still in the BBL trophy. My name is Chris Hughes. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, be sure to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get started. In today's video, we'll be looking at Thames Valley Cavaliers' upcoming first round BBL trophy game with Surrey Scorchers. Surrey announced today, but the game will tip off at 6 PM on Friday the 5th of February, which is just over a week away. As part of the preview, we'll be looking at Thames Valley Cavaliers' recent form and comparing that to the likes of Solent, Derby and Hemel, who are the other 3 teams still involved in the trophy. I say still, as Reading Rockets had the 5th and final NBL slot for this season's competition, but are drawn due to COVID. Thames Valley Cavaliers have started the season off well. They are currently 5-0 in recent form, with wins against Loughborough, Hemel, Oaklands, Leicester, and again, the stats in front of you, I think, really highlight Thames Valley Cavaliers' strengths. They're one of the top shooting sides in the NBL, as shown by their 50 and 40 plus field goal 3-point percentages respectively, pitting them second both those categories. However, the foul line there, currently 63.2, is the third worst for the league. Their bigs will also pose any side of this competition some troubles, as seen by how they're second in blocks and fifth in rebounds. The likes of HAKEEM, this week's NBL Player of the Week, a massive threat from second chance points, also stopping your team under the basket. I'm slightly surprised to see them 6th and 5th for assists and steals, because actually their guards are really good and also will pose problems for any side. Now moving on to Hemel Storm, who are the subject of our last video. Link in the bio for that one if you've missed that one. Hemel bounced back from a recent loss in the quarterfinal of the L Lynch Trophy at Solent to beat bottom of the table side Leicester in a 15-point win. They're currently on a 3-2 record in the last 5 games, with wins, as mentioned, there's Leicester, Worthing and Oaklands, but they have lost to Solent and Thames Valley Cavaliers, both very top sides. Always important to take a pinch of salt when you look at stats, but I think the average team stats as seen in the graphic on this slide really represents Hemel's strengths again as one of the premier shooting sides in the division. They're first for field goals, 3-point percentage average, free throws per game. No surprise to me, they're a very talented attacking side. However, maybe defensively slightly lacking, as seen as near the bottom of the table with 1.4 blocks per game. A slightly shorter side with that less physicality in the paint, as seen with the rebounds sort of mid-table with 40.2 per game. An average 6 steals per game pits them at 12th, and an average of 23 assists per night is third. So again, I say an attacking team, very talented as seen in the stats. Since that last aforementioned video, on the Hemel report, Derby haven't played, so they're obviously still 5-0 in recent games. And as mentioned that last video, I think they're one of the more rounded sides in the league, as represented by their stats, 4th, 12th and 6th respectively for shooting, field goals, 3-point percentage and free throws from the charity strip. They've also got some very good talented players who know their roles inside out, from likes of Charlie Brown, Oliver Stanley, Malcolm Smith, Blake Bowman. They're a very cohesive team. Ollie Stanley's definitely a player that really impresses me, and I think he's a catalyst for their rebounds and blocks. On a night, Derby averaged about 43.6 rebounds, which is second in the league, and 4 blocks a night, which is first. And obviously, the likes of Ollie Stanley, Malcolm Smith, etc. contribute that high block count. Again, very good attacking side. So the assists 23.1 per night, and being the 6th for steals per night, again for me represents their cohesive team that's also talented at both ends of the floor. Team Solent CASHAW, they're on an amazing run, currently 5-0 in all competitions. Last weekend, a massive 50-point win versus South Coast rivals Worthing adds to impressive wins in recent weeks versus Hemel, B8 London Lions. CASHAW's also dominated in the average team stats per night. They're shooting almost half the amount of shots they take, with a field goal percentage of 49.5, just enough to put them third in the league. They're also shooting well from range with a a healthy 34.9, which is left to be fourth, and free throws make 76.3% of them per night. In context, you just see actually it's quite a competitive league. A lot of teams with a lot of attacking talent, because those sort of stats are more than respectful for a top four side. When looking at the rest of the box score stats, they top of the league with rebounds and assists, averaging 47 and 28.5 respectively. Defensively, they're not too shabby either, averaging 10.5 steals per night, which is enough to put from second. Blocks, maybe somewhere they can improve, with averaging 2 blocks per game. But actually, if they're making those stops a bit earlier on, it's not too bad for you to have a lower block average. Now, looking a bit deeper at the key players for this Thames Valley Cavaliers side, HAKEEM averaging a double-double, showing but like what Martell, so this is a normal week's work for the big guy. Interestingly, I think it's going to be a really good matchup. HAKEEM's wearing Martell's former number 1 jersey. I'm looking forward to see how these two match up. HAKEEM really complements the shooters well on this side. This is a team that's got a lot of very talented shooters. If they were to miss the shot, you could count on HAKEEM getting that offensive board to give them that second chance opportunity. You also got number 20, Seth Hawley. He's a great 3-point shooter, averaging almost 20 points a night. Really benefited from the unfortunate injury to Taylor Johnson. Started on bench, has been getting a few more minutes as he's been showing his worth to the side. Also contributes on the playmaking side, averaging 3.2 assists per night, but it's also helping on the defensive end with very important steals and blocks, averaging 2.2 and 0.4 respectively. Team has still got a lot of guys who just shoot around that 43-point percentage, the likes of Blaine, Taylor, Lewis Champion. They've got quite a few shooters in their arsenal. Blaine Frackerton almost shooting half the shots he takes, with 49 field goal percentage and a very nice 45.8 from 3. They've also got the likes of Taylor Johnson, who has been in and out the side in his second season for the Thames Valley Cavaliers and third season respectively in the NBL, having formerly played for Leicester Warriors. He started well, however, with an average of 21.5 points a game, 7 rebounds, 7.5 assists, 1.5 steals, and 0.5 blocks from two games. Again, like Hawley, Frackerton, Champion, this is a shooter, but you need to keep your eyes on. Currently averaging 65.4 of all the shots he takes and just under 45 3-point percentage. High IQ player, makes the best pass very efficiently, and it's no surprise last season made quite a lot of player of the weeks, a lot of standout performances. We've also got Lewis Champion, as we mentioned earlier, with Bristol Flyers last season. He's also played really well, taking up more of a playmaker role, but definitely one to watch from range, as in a recent L Lynch title deciding group stages, he killed it from 3-point range, that buzzer beater to give his side the first seeds from the group. In terms of a league, he's played 5 games already, averaging 11.4 points, 2.4 rebounds, 5.2 assists, and 1 steal. With a lot of talented shooters, sometimes he has to take a different role, as I mentioned, a playmaking role, currently averaging about 6.8 field goal attempts on the night. To recap, that tie is set to play on Friday the 5th of February at 6 p.m. Last season in the NBL, Taylor Johnson got 30 points or more in 8 individual games, leading all players in that stat from the NBL. This tie has already been dubbed as the Martell-Mucklemore Derby. Martell-Mucklemore played for TBC last season. In terms of BBL trophy pedigree themselves, they in the last 4 seasons, Surrey have not made it past the second round. They have experience playing NBL sides, however. In the 16-17 season of the trophy, they beat Reading Rockets on the road 72-82. And more recently, 2 seasons ago, they lost to Worthing Thunder 86-80. This time out, they'll be hosting Thames Valley Cavaliers. If we look at recent form, it's a bit of a bleak story at the moment, with a 1-4 record for the last 5 games. Most recently a loss to Manchester Giants in the 6-7-80 result. They've had a close game before that with Cheshire Phoenix, losing by 5 points. And then prior to that, played Bristol at home in a 20-point loss. And you can also see they played Cheshire, or set the series up with a 74-70 win. And then before that, lost to Sheffield in a 44-point game. It's a very competitive BBL this season this year, and I've really enjoyed watching it. It's definitely a step up from BBL from last season, the season before, so it will be a tough game for TBC, regardless of Surrey Scorchers' recent form. Shooting-wise, they're towards the bottom of the table in the field goal percentage, shooting 35.3 of their total shots. However, a 3-point percentage of 27.8 lands them in the middle of the pack at 6th. That's not surprising for me, with the likes of Kalen Rafter-Poulis and Evan Walshe and many other adept long-range shooters to boast on their side. And those sort of perimeter shooters will be important in terms of keeping up with the Thames Valley Cavaliers' potent attack. Again, at the foul line, they're pretty consistent with a nice 72 free throw percentage. But in terms of rebound, assists, steals, and blocks, they're pretty much bottom of the pack, 9th in rebounds with an average of 33 per night. Same in Grace, 17.7 assists, which is 7th. And steals, this again, like their form, towards the bottom, 11th respectively, in steals and blocks of 6 and 1.8. But bringing it back to Surrey Scorchers, bit of a brief history. They joined the BBL 2005-2006 season. They've been in there 15 seasons. Had a very good start. BBL champions in the 6-7 season and runners-up in the subsequent 07-08 season. And they have, even though we said in recent years their pedigree in the BBL trophy hasn't been up to maybe where they'd like it to, they have won it in the past in the 07-08 season. And they're runners-up in the 2008 to 2009 and also the 2010 to 2011 season. BV in championships, they've got one BBL championship title to name, one runner-up, one playoff championship. They've also won the BBL trophy on one occasion and were runners-up twice. And they also won the BBL Cup on one occasion. Looking at the squad in more depth, NBL fans will instantly recognise the names of Martin Mucklemore, Evan Walshe. Others may recognise Kalen Rafter-Poulis. Evan Walshe performed excellently in the L. Lynch Trophy with Oakland's Wolves and has earned himself a promotion to the BBL. The sharpshooters replicated his form in the BBL Championship, shooting half the shots he makes and on a night averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2.8 assists and 0.5 steals off the bench. Will be one to watch in this tie. Club captain Tai Ogendengbe will also be another player to watch. The club captain in 6 games starting in the BBL Championships, averaging 10.5 points, almost 5 rebounds, 1.2 assists and 0.8 steals per game. One of the players who's really impressed me the most from my limited watching of Surrey Scorchers is Connor CASHAW. Number 7's averaged 12 points a game, 5.2 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 1.3 steals. Started all 6 games. The sharpshooters averaged a very nice 45.1 on all shots and 41.7 3-point percentage. Be careful if you foul him. In the championship, he's pretty much faultless with a almost perfect 95.5 free throw percentage. Also, TVC fans will need little introduction to Martin Mucklemore, the former TVC NBL D2 MVP, is started 4 out of his 6 games so far this season, shooting well, shooting 40.4 field goal percentage and 23.5 from beyond the arc. A nice 8 point, 4.2 rebound, 1.8 assists, 0.3 and 0.2 steals and blocks per games respectively. And it'd be really interesting to see how he plays against his former side. This will be the first time he's come up against them since switching from Thames Valley Cavaliers this summer just gone. Right, for the next bit. So you've heard what I've had to say about Thames Valley Cavaliers and also a bit about Surrey Scorchers ahead of this exciting first round BBL trophy tie. Now in the comments, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Who you think is going to win? The margin, the MVP, players you think have an impact. I'd love to hear your opinions. All as that great discussion that is of British basketball. As mentioned earlier, games to be played on Friday, the 5th of February at 6 p.m. tip-off. You detach the game live on BBL Player. Between now and next Friday, there's a lot happening. For myself personally, on Friday, I'm hosting the L Lynch semi-final draw. That will be live streamed on Upstream Media's Facebook and YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description for anything I've mentioned today. So for the semi-final, it's going to be Team Surrey Kestrels, Worthing Thunder, Loughborough Riders, joined by one of the following two teams: Thames Valley Cavaliers, who we've obviously discussed today, or Nottingham McDonald's Hoods. So next up will be the last of my NBL previews of sides in the BBL Trophy. Next up's the all NBL clash between Derby Trailblazers, Team Surrey Kestrels. It'll be a bit longer as I'll be previewing both sides in the same video. Want to be the first to know when the next video from myself, Chris Hughes, Rebound, drops on YouTube? Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. That way you'll be alerted when the next video drops. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.